continued that sort of lifestyle, just ate whatever I wanted, drank tons, like I was drinking 5-6 times a week sometimes. Started noticing I had lack of vision in my left eye. I ended up going to the specialist. He sat me down, did a couple of scans, MRI scan. I actually got in trouble with my MRI scan because I was moving too much because he had good music on and I was dancing the inside on. I think it was Michael Jackson actually.
So you really walked out of MRI. Without naming names, have you had any like bad like circumstances, like maybe bad food or just yeah?
Yep.
Yeah. Whoa. So wait, have they been exposed before? So is that something?
Came out nothing like it was on Instagram. It was so hideous. They were supposed to be red velvet pancakes. They didn't even taste like chocolate.
What? Okay, ladies and gentlemen, you're tuned into the Kiko and Vierra podcast. My name is Ali Vierra.
What's up? I'm Kiko dos Santos.
Today we're joined by Zach, aka Zacros, aka the foodie of the millennium. The foodie, as the young kids are calling him. How you doing today, Zach?
Yeah, good boys. How you doing?
Yeah, good mate. Good.
Excellent. Thanks for coming past.
My absolute pleasure. Thanks for having me on.
Man, the man is in the building.
It's exciting stuff.
Yeah. First off, I got to ask you, where are the brownies, bro? I expected at least.
You know what? I was actually going to bring some, and then I was in bed last night at like 10:30, and I was like,
can I be bothered making them?
Or
maybe you did make them, but you just ate them. You just don't want to tell us, right? Yeah.
This is
bit cheeky, yeah. Waiting at the tram stop or whatnot.
So for those watching who want to know a bit about your background, so you mainly, how would you describe what it is that you do? Just posting treats and...
It's all mostly low calorie, high protein, macro friendly options for everyday desserts.
Dessert. So it is specialising on desserts, because I had a look through and I was like, this stuff looks unbelievably nice, man.
Oh, thanks, man. It's all desserts. All desserts. I get people ask me all the time, why don't I do savoury? Everyone does savoury. Anyone can do savoury, but not many people can make like a high protein, low calorie banoffee pie. You know what I mean?
And are these made up all from yourself, or is that via Google, or how do you?
So usually what I do to get the inspiration, what I'll do is I'll scroll through my explore page.
Yeah.
And then see something that looks nice, recreate it in a macro-friendly manner. That's it. Or if I'm like feeling like a certain dessert, for instance, if I want brownies, I'll make brownies, but I'll make them low calorie.
Yeah.
How did you get started into it though? What was the initial spark that was like, okay, I could do this?
The initial spark for Instagram as a whole, that's a bit of a big one. That's basically when I lived in the UK, all I did was drink and eat like packet lasagna. That's all I did, man. I moved over there, I was like 71, 72 kilo. I moved home, I was like 90 kilos. So I put on 18 kilos while I was living over there. Now, a little while after I got home, maybe like 3 months, I continued that sort of lifestyle, just ate whatever I wanted, drank tons, like I was drinking 5-6 times a week sometimes. Started noticing I had lack of vision in my left eye.
What?
Yeah, bro. So I was going a little bit blind in my left eye. So I was like, this can't be good. I let it go for a day and I was like, maybe it'll just go away. Didn't go away. So I went to the optometrist. The guy was like, alright, we need to send you to a specialist. And I was like, when are we going? And he's like, right now. I was like, so it's pretty serious? He's like, you could say that. So I drove an hour to get to the specialist.
So wait, you were losing vision in it, or it was like nothing in it? What was it?
It was losing vision. So I had 2 blurry patches in the top right hand corner of my left eye.
I'm surprised you didn't do the typical thing and just look up Mr. Dr. Google.
Right. You know what, mate? I did. And straight away, I had a tumour. Just like
you got 5 minutes to live, basically.
Exactly. The same thing as having
you got a rash in your back, you got a tumour.
So I ended up going to the specialist. He sat me down, did a couple of scans, MRI scan. I actually got in trouble with my MRI scan because I was moving too much because he had good music on and I was dancing the insides on.
No music MRIs. Turn that music off. What are you doing, man? Come on,
get me in trouble.
Are you serious?
Do you recall what song it was?
I think it was Michael Jackson actually. I'm pretty sure it was Beat It.
Yeah? Did you do the moonwalk?
I can moonwalk actually.
Oh, so you moonwalked out of them, alright.
Might actually get that on camera.
I'll show you after. So yeah, I went to the specialist, got my MRI done, and he said, look mate, basically what's happened is your body thinks it's growing up instead of out.
Yeah.
I was like, well, what does that mean?
What does that mean?
Well, because you've gotten fatter, your body thinks you're getting taller because there's more of you. And I was like, oh, right, okay. And he said, basically you've got too much CSF, too much cerebral spinal fluid, because it thinks you're getting taller, so it thinks it needs more to pump through the nervous system. And I was like, so... And he's like, it's getting caught in your skull. It's getting stuck in a nerve behind your eye, and the nerve is expanding and touching your eyeball.
So you said you put on 20 kilos in a matter of how much time?
2 months, 2 years.
2 years, yeah, not 2 months.
Not 2 months, God no.
Be concerned.
Yeah, very. Oh, jeez, I'd be very worried about my lifestyle then. But yeah, over 2 years. But he said it was from putting on weight too fast, and I was like, that doesn't sound right. But okay.
I was going to say, I'm sure there's got to be something else into it as well, because plenty of people have put on that much weight.
Did he break it down specific to any food, or like was it just just bad, lazy,
calories.
too many calories? Yeah, fuck.
That was it. I think it's called intracranial idiopathic hyper something. Basically, what it means is it happened and they don't know why.
You know the problem with this, every day that goes past, I can't hear of it. There's always some other way to get sick, to die. Every single day that happens. Like, this is another thing onto the list now of ways that you can get stuffed up. So just to clarify, I don't know if I butted in before you finished it though. So it's literally just because you put on that amount of weight?
That's what they said, man. That's all they said.
So what about now though? Was there a solution for it?
So basically all they told me was I needed the spinal tap. So they needed to put a needle in my spinal cord and just drip some cerebral spinal fluid out. The local anaesthetic hurt so bad, like it stung so bad. But then once that's in, obviously it's very numb, you can't feel anything. So they put a needle in your back and they can't use a syringe to get it out because they can take too much out. Really? So you just have to lie there with a needle in your back while it's dripping out into a little container.
Bro, what?
It's horrible. So like prior to going to move into England, were you eating badly? Were you eating good? What was your lifestyle prior to that?
I didn't really think too much about it.
Yeah,
I was just like having a drink with friends here and there, eating food whenever I wanted the food.
I
don't know if you're comfortable getting into it, but you didn't have any prior medical problems or anything like that?
Not at all, man. Not at all. I was pretty like I've had my horrible relationships with food here and there, like yo-yo dieting and that sort of thing, and I want to be smaller, I want to get bigger, that kind of thing, but nothing crazy, man. No proper medical issues or anything like that.
Because that's just to clarify, obviously it's not a case where anyone who puts in 20 kilos in 2 years is going to get that problem, but some people are just predisposed to it genetically or something like that.
Bad luck, exactly, bad luck in a sense as well.
Exactly. Like they told me it was more common in fertile women, and I was like, great, I've got childbearing hips, but that's about it. Man. That's about it. So I don't stand in front of the cameras, and I always turn aside, so it makes my hips look smaller.
Just put it on the right side. Exactly. Our angle kicker.
So, current day, do you have to? Is this a procedure that you repeatedly have to do, or is it one-off?
Not at all. Not at all. So what I ended up doing, they just told me I needed that spinal tap, and then they told me to lose weight. Cool, bang on, no worries. So I lost 18 kilos in 10 weeks.
Man, look at that.
That was bad.
How long?
10 weeks, bro. That's 2 kilos. That's almost 2 kilos a week.
So you're saying that was too much?
At the time, I thought it was great. I was like, how fast I can lose this weight, bro? Nah.
Alright, so you got to get to the top. Like, how did you lose 18 kilos in a matter of 10 weeks? Because this sounds like it's interesting.
At the time, this is absolute. I don't know if I can swear on here or not, but
go for it.
This is absolute bullshit. If anyone ever tells you this, just straight up, just get up and leave the conversation, or block them, or do whatever you need to do. At the time, I thought carbs made you fat. Straight up, that's just what I thought.
Was that through someone telling you that, or was that just
through like general belief.
Yeah.
And you can't eat.
I guess it's the cliche. Yeah. Don't eat fats. Don't eat
sugars. Don't eat this. Don't eat that. Just focus on nothing but protein. And So
all the good foods is fats and carbs. Let's be honest. You know what I mean?
Fat plus carb equals flavour.
Yes, 100%. 100%.
So I just stopped eating carbs altogether. The first week was fairly difficult, but after that, it was fairly easy.
So you lost all the weight from cutting out carbs. So just to make it clear for the people who don't know about the carbs is what makes you gain the weight. It's if you eat more if you've consumed more calories than you burn, then you'll gain weight. It's calories in.
It's calories in,
calories out.
So you got yourself in a ketosis state. Is that what happened as well?
I thought that's where I was going. I don't know if I actually got there.
Yeah.
But that's exactly where I thought I was going. So I'd wake up and have like an omelette with about 4 bags.
Were you training during this time, or
I was cardio?
A lot of cardio?
No cardio.
No cardio.
But I did Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu.
Oof. Okay, so that would have burnt off a lot of calories. Yeah.
So I was training that. My dad was my coach, so I was training like usually 7.
So you weren't carb loading prior or post
No carbs.
Were you craving
no
it whatsoever?
For the first week, absolutely.
Okay, yeah. And then you just passed that mental barrier and just went without it. Yeah, that's
so
fucking insane, man.
Just a cheese, bacon, and egg omelette. Obviously, you need egg for an omelette, but I was having that for breakfast, and then I have steak and veggies for lunch, and then steak and veggies for dinner.
Fuck, so you're looking forward to breakfast every day, so and then everything else was cardboard, yeah?
Yeah, basically.
Nah, you can't do it like that, man.
But I thought I could.
Yeah, so well, you managed to do it, but like, did that yo-yo? Did you gain weight post losing that?
No.
Not at
first, because I kept that up.
So you kept consistent after you lost the weight?
Yes. And I stayed consistent, and I wondered why I couldn't lift more. I wondered why I had a severe lack of energy.
So that's the side effects from
absolutely. It was the side effects from being in like too much of a calorie deficit. Because at the time I had nothing about calories, man.
Right.
Nothing. I just knew that if I did, I thought I knew that if I didn't eat
carbs, the way they preach it is like the carbs is the devil, blah blah blah. Yeah, I could imagine.
So I kept that up. I kept it up for a solid. I started in, I think, June of 2018.
Yeah.
And I kept that going until the 27th of December.
Holy fuck.
So 6 full months of calorie deficit, nothing but calorie deficit. I had like the odd drink here and there, but it was just like purely straight spirit.
So were you conscious like every time you drink or like,
very,
something? Yeah. Would you feel like just put on a kilo or two? Did you have that mindset? Yeah.
You have that.
I've been there. Yeah. Especially when you get to the competing state. Yeah. Just paranoid. You feel fat just chewing a chewy gum.
Yeah, exactly. Any calories that you're not used to consuming.
Trust me, I know.
Don't get to that level. Don't get to that level. It's horrible. Then it was the 27th of December is when it all changed. I was working doing retail at the time, and I was doing deliveries, so we'd deliver like fridges and washing machines and that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Loaded up the ute, took it out of town, was driving on the way back in, fell asleep behind the wheel.
Fell asleep. So basically major fatigue.
Yeah. Fell asleep behind the wheel. So because of that, I obviously crashed the car, which wasn't very Keith, if you're listening, I'm so sorry. I'm still really sorry about that.
Oh, so that wasn't your car?
No, it was the work ute.
No shit. Oh, yeah. Okay, so you're working for a company. You were driving. What time was it? Like
4 o'clock in the afternoon. It was 4 o'clock in the afternoon.
So it wasn't like it was 3 in the morning and you had just done 12 hours. No. You literally just probably finished work 4 p.m.
I hadn't finished. I was on my way back to work.
To the next site. Yeah.
And then after that is when I sort of went, you know what, maybe I should actually try and put on a bit of size here.
And did you go to a nutritionist? What was your next step? Dr. Google?
Self-research, man.
Okay.
But the next step from that was, because at that time, like I had my Instagram, but I wasn't really using it much. Sorry, that was 2018, not 2019.
Okay,
I'm sure I said 2018.
Yeah, you did say 2018.
That's what we've done. So 2019, the very start of 2019 is where I thought, you know what, maybe I should actually put on a bit of size here.
Yeah.
So I kept trying to get below 70 kilos, and it just wasn't happening. My body shape didn't allow for it.
Yeah.
We'll get a little bit bigger then. How's that? Actually look like a human as opposed to like resembling a piece of paper or something.
Yeah, of course.
No, it's not.
Especially you would have been so depleted not having carbs in your system.
So the glycogen, the severe lack of
your body wouldn't know what that. Your body wouldn't know what glycogen is.
People are like, oh, you know you're shredded when you can see your veins, and like carbs obviously really help with like being vascular.
Yeah, 100%.
Not me, bro. No carbs and no veins. Horrible. That's when I started sort of pursuing a bit more of weight gain as opposed to trying to...
Okay, so what was the next step from there? Were you like, okay, hold on, if I'm going to start eating carbs, I'm going to start making it fun, or...
The first step was oats. It was just protein oats.
Okay.
So I'd wake up, have protein oats, eat them, and that'd be the only carbs I'd have for the day. So at that time I was still like a little bit wary of them.
So just for breakfast.
Just for breakfast.
Were you going to the gym post oats, or like was it we still got
oats? Actually no, at that time I was training at night. I was training like 9 o'clock at night.
Okay, so
which was terrible for my sleep, man.
Yeah, and not only that, I guess you would be depleted and you wouldn't be filling up your glycogen until you wake up, right?
Exactly. So I'd have that one carb boost in the morning, and like breakfast was the most important meal of the day.
Yeah.
It was like, and it was the most enjoyable.
Breakfast of champions.
Yeah, absolutely. Protein oats, man. Get most of them.
Yeah.
And then after that, I did that for like a couple of months, and then very early March or very late February, I flew to England for 2 weeks to visit some friends and that. And my girlfriend at the time, and I just straight up binged for 2 weeks over there.
It happens, man.
And I'm talking like pizza on burger on literally anything I could shove in my face all the time, man. Nothing was off limits. I was eating stuff I didn't even know I liked.
Yeah.
Just try it out, man.
I bet your brain was having crazy like spasms,
it
like
was
in order to.
ridiculous. Like I wasn't even hungry, and I was just consuming grotesque amounts of food. It was worth it though. It was worth it because that's what taught me that like you can smash so much food and still not like lose your abs.
Yeah.
And that was kind of a dangerous time, but also a really good time because I noticed how much I could actually eat.
And did it go like from there? Did it go downhill, uphill, like in terms of like?
It was all uphill from there.
Yeah.
So for the first 2 weeks when I got home from the UK, like when I did my visit, for the first 2 weeks when I got back, I like tried to get my abs back as best as I could, and I was like, actually, nah, it's not worth it.
Yeah.
I tried to get bigger. So then I pursued a bulk, and that's when I started my Instagram to try and keep me accountable for that.
Yeah.
So when I very first started, almost every single post, no, not even almost, man, 99% of posts were protein oats with like chocolate and things like that on top.
So you're still sticking away from the carbs, yeah?
Not at that point, because at that point...
But like to a minimal, or was it just more just...
To a minimal at first,
Yeah.
So I'd only have like 40 grams of oats.
Yeah.
Which isn't much, man.
No, not much at all, no way.
Now I have 80 and I'm like, I could eat more.
Are those posts still up, the first ones that you did?
Yeah, man. Actually, the very first post on my Instagram, I believe, is a transformation post.
Okay, because I noticed that. So you're in the first ones. Because now it's just.
It's all food. That's the
food.
only photo I've ever posted of myself.
Really?
Yeah.
Are you planning to get your face? Because you're on a podcast right now. Get your face out there. You know.
Yeah. So this may be the first time your audience sees your face, or like
they've seen my face. Like I've done a 10,000 calorie challenge and things like that.
All right, cool. Yeah.
So I put my face on my stories, but as far as like actual posts go, I don't like it.
Is there a specific reason, or you just think
people don't follow me for my face or like my body or anything like that? People follow me because I post food.
Your amazing food and recipes.
How long has it been like going very well for you on the Instagram?
Let's see. It started off fairly well. Like I think I hear.
So just right off the bat, everyone was loving it.
Not so much right off the bat, because initially like it was all just protein oats. I didn't start doing anything different. The first time I did anything different, I think was protein pancakes.
Okay.
And then after that, I'd buy like pints of Halo Top ice cream and then just put loads of whack shit on top. And I'm talking extra ice cream on top, like grotesque amounts of chocolate on top. Just
you're making me hungry, man.
I'm always hungry, bro. That's my secret.
Yeah.
They say don't trust a skinny chef.
Absolutely not, mate.
Because I guess different strokes for different folks. You know, you've got the people who are killing it, doing exactly the same format that you're doing. I don't know if you've heard of That's What I Reckon. Have you heard of that guy?
Yeah, bro.
I
think he blew up on TikTok.
Well, I see him on Facebook. I don't really know the TikTok, but on Facebook he's absolutely killing it. But I think that's more of like the vulgar type of, like maybe Gordon Ramsay just swearing. And
he's just the bogan Gordon Ramsay, really.
That's a good comparison. Yeah.
It's amazing. I love it. I absolutely love it.
Yeah.
But yeah, it wasn't until lockdown started when I started doing like a bit more adventurous stuff.
Oh, really?
So March last year.
Okay.
So in May, for a little bit there, I still stuck to pancakes and oats because it's just what I knew. But then obviously I lost my job and stuff, so I was like, I'm pretty bored.
So you're spending more time at home.
Exactly.
Like experimenting, I could imagine. Yeah,
whatever. I was doing a little bit here and there.
Okay, cool. And who do you live at home? Like, are you sharing caring, or are you like enjoying it all for yourself?
I wish I could enjoy it.
Yeah.
For the most part, I eat a lot of it myself.
Okay, yeah.
The things are in batches. Like I'll make a loaf of banana bread or something, and my housemate will just take it to work. Because if he asks, I'll say no. But
your stomach will say no, right?
Yeah, exactly. It's not my head. I swear.
So are you doing this as a business as well, or is it just ideally just Instagram?
It was initially just Instagram, and then I thought, you know what?
Because surely you get requests online.
Dude, a lot.
Like I'm pretty sure I've asked you.
More than once.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Yeah. And it probably gets eaten every time you make it for me, right?
I'll meet you at the gym.
Yeah. Could imagine. So you are getting requests via Instagram mostly,
Yeah, you only by Instagram really.
Yeah.
So that's when I started. Well, it's still starting now, but that's when I thought of the idea of starting Macro Brownie Co.
Okay, yeah, and I've seen that. So what's happening there? Is that currently just like in the early stages?
It's in the very early stages. So I've got my website sort of up and running. Shout out to my cousin for that because he's an absolute gem. Got it going for me, which is.
So the website is macrobrownieco.
macrobrownieco.com.
Okay.
Nice. Pretty easy one there. But yeah, there's a few places that have reached out to me for doing wholesale.
Yeah.
Which is really cool, but they're like way over the other side of town from me. They're way over southeast and I'm west side. So west side is the best side.
Yeah, so stick with the west.
Yeah, exactly. West coast. What up? I was nowhere near the coast.
Yeah. So what's the plan? Is it like, do you enjoy just, I guess, making it for yourself, making content out of it and eating it, or do you want to go down that road of like you got it at the shops and you can go down the road and see your own brownies as a like a commercialized product?
I'll do both.
Yeah.
Because I still like people message me when I started the Macro Brownie Co page and things like that. People messaged me and said, "Are you still going to post recipes?"
Dude, every time I see one of your videos, because you know, like obviously we've known each other for over a year now, I'm just fuck. I'll tell Jazz like I'm craving that fucking thing, you know? Yeah. No. Ideally, I'd rather you just have like maybe Uber service and get it
Uber
Ubered.
service.
Yeah.
Uber just rips off businesses.
Yeah.
I just do my own.
I was gonna say maybe a DoorDash or something like that. Or
that could work.
Or just like a Zacros delivery or something.
Yeah, man.
Counting Deliveros.
Have we got any investors?
Actually, I've had a few people reach out to invest.
Oh, okay.
And I'm like, no, because then you'll own my company.
Okay, what, for a certain percentage? Like,
It'll
or
always
like,
be a percentage. And usually it's...
Any serious talks or just like,
Nothing really, because I shut it down fairly quickly.
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm not really interested in it. Like, I just want to be able to rent a commercial kitchen for like an hourly rate.
Yeah.
Or just for like a 3-hour session, bust out as many batches as I can and just sell them from there.
Well, if you've got investors or people hitting you up to invest already now, that's when it's like, imagine if you wait a little bit, then those numbers that they're going to throw out will definitely be higher and sky's the limit.
I mean, they might be massive, they might be minimal. Either way, I don't really mind because it's not like I didn't... When I very first started my Instagram, I never thought I'd be able to make any sort of job out of it. It was just fun. And now I still treat it as predominantly just fun.
And you still just obviously want to, I get what you're saying. Like, you don't want to make it seem like a job, like a full-time job.
Exactly.
Unless you're actually really having fun with it,
I mean, they say if you find a job you love, you never work a day in your life, which is fair enough and more than likely true. I wouldn't know. But I don't know if I could bake brownies every single day.
Okay, yeah.
There are other things in the work for it, like things I won't share on here just yet, but I'll tell you boys after, that'll hopefully have it worldwide.
Okay,
buy certain things worldwide with it.
No, nice.
Eventually, hopefully, like it's all long-term plans obviously. It's nothing like within the next 3 months or anything like that. That'd be absolutely ridiculous. But
you didn't go into this social media game with that intention, or did you already think
not.
No, so no.
Absolutely not. I started my account to keep me accountable for trying to gain weight.
Okay,
and to help others who were potentially having the same struggles I was. As far as like being scared to eat carbs, being scared to gain weight, because man, when you're that lean, like I was sub 10% for a while there.
Of course.
And the thought of gaining weight was so scary.
Yeah, I know.
It's horrible. 100%. Whereas now I'm at that level where if I did get that lean and I gained weight, I'd be fine with it because I just know more.
Yeah, it's all psychological as well.
Yeah,
you know,
perspective,
it can fuck with your head, you know.
Let's get into some of the any perks being thrown your way being in this field. Like, have people invited you to certain restaurants or sent you stuff?
Absolutely.
So what about the restaurants or what invited you?
They usually want a post in exchange. I won't name too many restaurants because that'd be I don't know. I just don't
Come
want
on,
to
man, give us something. Give us something.
I don't want to toot my own horn, but some restaurants will offer like a voucher in exchange for a post, but I don't post food that I don't make. So I'm like, look, I can put it on my Instagram story, but that's all I'll do because I'm not gonna.
Do they?
Oh, okay, yeah. And do they generally agree with that?
Some do it, some don't mind. And then there are places like, again, won't name them, but there are certain, like a couple of burger venues out west who just give the free food.
Okay.
That's because I've supported them and they're supporting me. And I'll always put it on my Instagram story just because I support them. And that wouldn't matter whether I paid for it or got it for free, I'd do it. It's more now because of like the niche that it's in, as far as like fitness food and that kind of thing. Sort of like Vierra sweetener. Have you seen them? They make stevia and those like caramel and chocolate syrups.
I only just heard of stevia like not that long ago. I was like, what is this, man?
It's a natural sweetener?
Yeah, I was like, what? That's sugar is?
Doesn't make sense.
It's like Coke ad or something like that. Coca-Cola, but
Yeah, Coca-Cola, specifically Coca-Cola.
Clarify that, man.
Yeah, not to be confused with that caster sugar looking stuff. But yeah, like a certain couple of companies have reached out and just like asked to send me stuff in exchange for like making a recipe for them or things like that. So Natvia were one of them. I've had a couple of protein companies hit me up, but I'm fairly loyal to my protein. Zacros 40 gets you 40% off, by the way.
Oh, there you go. There
Check your plug.
You've got your own protein.
No, it's not my protein, but the company's called My
The brand is
Protein.
called My Protein. Yeah.
But yeah, cheeky discount code plug there. They now ship out of Australia, which is good because they were shipping out of the UK for time and like ages. But now they ship out of Melbourne.
That's awesome news.
So good.
Wait, backtracking back to the food blogging, just getting invited to places to eat. Without naming names, have you had any like bad like circumstances, like maybe bad food or just yeah?
Yep, Highness Cafe.
Yeah.
Whoa,
Oh shit! Straight up. Yeah. Doesn't pull back. Yeah. What was the actual address? Sorry.
We're in Brunswick.
So wait, have they been exposed before in terms of like, could you Google review them and they got their 1 stars, or is that something?
So?
Yeah, just your bad experience, or what actually happened for you to be open?
Man, I looked on their Instagram and I already had planned out what I was going to get.
Yeah.
Ordered it, came out nothing like it was on Instagram. It was so hideous.
As in, it wasn't aesthetically pleasing.
At all.
Looking. Yeah. What about tasting?
The taste was okay.
Yeah.
They were supposed to be red velvet pancakes. They didn't even taste like chocolate. Red velvet is basically just red chocolate, right?
Yeah.
They just tasted like standard pancakes. So I was like, no, that's pretty disappointing. Like with pancakes, because it's a stack, you need to make it look high. Like in order to like get like an aesthetic photo.
Of course,
you need to give it some height. And it's like topped with fairy floss and things like that. They put it in a bowl. When it's in a bowl,
so
you have to
suppress down
with your camera.
Yeah, of course.
It looks tiny.
And what was the exchange that was supposed to be made in order for the food? Was it just a post, a story?
I think it was just a post.
Yeah.
If I search for it, I'd be able to find it, but I'm pretty sure it was just a post.
At the time, did you say anything? Or
I said to the staff, because the staff were like, how was everything? I was like, the pancakes came out in a bowl, man. It's so hard to take photos of. And they're like, did you get photos? I was like, not very good ones.
So, but you ended up posting it anyway?
Yeah.
And did anyone actually comment and say anything negative? Or it's like, because you're the foodie, you know that like, it wasn't up to par?
I already knew.
Yeah.
I didn't want to post it.
Oh, so you posted saying it was great, good?
I didn't say it was good.
Okay. You just posted, okay, cool.
No caption or what?
I had a caption. I just said I went there,
and
then said what was in the pancakes.
Yeah. Okay, that's respectable, man. The fact that you didn't go out of your way and say this stuff is amazing. You know what I mean?
At all, and I never will. I never will. I think that's why influencers or quote unquote influencers. I hate the word.
Yeah.
It's got such negative.
We'll get to that.
What do you like being titled? Like, just touch base on that real quickly.
Just a
like,
foodie, man.
Yeah, just a foodie.
Just a human, bro.
Yeah, I'm just Zacros, bro.
I am, man. I'm just Zach. Like, I'll message someone, or someone will message me rather, and I'll reply, and they're like, "Oh my god, you replied." I'm like, why wouldn't I?
Yeah.
I'm not gonna ignore you.
Yeah.
What the hell?
Your followers and you're suddenly
people's heads just blow up.
Yeah.
I think they're God's gift to everything.
Yeah, 100%.
Social media.
So, so that was just you going to that. Sorry, touch base on that cafe real quickly. That was just you going to the cafe alone, or was that?
Yeah, I went with a friend.
Yeah.
So when I moved,
What was their opinion?
They were the same.
Oh, okay.
Like it's just all the food came out fairly ugly.
So you had seen this food? Sorry, what was it? Pancakes.
Pancakes, yeah.
And you seen it already on Instagram. It looks aesthetically pleasing. Was it on a bowl or was it on a plate at the time?
It was on a board.
Oh, on the Instagram.
Board,
Okay, yeah. And then when you went there, it came in a bowl, right?
Well, they sent it
you
to you
expected the fucking board, right?
Did they send? How did you get the bowl? Was that did you go to their restaurant or they sent that to you?
Oh no, I went to their restaurant.
Oh, okay. I don't know why. I thought.
But they're sending me a whole bowl of pancakes.
Yeah.
I would have complained then if it wasn't
That's
cool.
Zacros food service.
But yeah, when it came out, like the moment it hit the table, I was like, this is going to be very difficult. It just wasn't nice, and I had to like. Usually, what I used to do if I went to a cafe was I'd take like 2 or 3 shots, like quite close-ups, so you can sort of like get in and know what's in it. So but I couldn't do that with this because I only had one nice side, so I had to take 3 different pictures of that same side.
Wow.
But trying to angle them a little bit different.
What did your friend order? Like, was it?
She got a green bowl and something else. Can't remember what the other thing was.
Did it come out green or?
It was green.
Yeah. Okay.
Just.
No,
it was very green. It was very green. I can't start off with that.
Can't take that away from
it wasn't very aesthetic, but it was green. And to be fair, the food in there did taste good. It was just the pancakes aesthetically were such a letdown. Taste was fairly average. Absolutely. But then when I sort of spoke to the owners, they didn't say too much. Oh, sorry, not the owners, the wait staff, I should say. They didn't say too much, and then I just left it at that. I was like, this is pretty average, mate, and I just left. You
brought it up. If you understand it. If you want to take that on board, that's on you.
That's
Look, I want to get into something real quickly that you're mentioning people like getting a bit arrogant, and I don't know if that ties into being arrogant, or if this is just a part of the industry, right? When have you ever worked like in a kitchen before, actually being a chef or anything?
Not been a chef. I've not been a chef.
I was just wondering, in those environments, say if I'm watching Kitchen Nightmares or whatever, but I think this is around the industry, it's almost like you're expected to cop verbal abuse. You'll have Gordon Ramsay scream, the head chef screaming down your throat, you know what I mean? I'm going to kill your whole family, and you just have to accept that sort of thing. Like, I don't know, you haven't been in the kitchen, but
no.
Do you have any opinions on being expected to cop that?
I think it's sort of old school, man. I don't think a lot of people would be doing that now. And I think it became a bit of a trend when Gordon Ramsay was doing it.
So
he commercialised it, made it seem cool, made sense of humour out of it, but like no one ever thinks about the person getting yelled at.
Well, when I see the person getting yelled at and they sort of try and stand up for themselves.
They just want a job, bro.
Well, they try and paint them as the villain, the person who's standing up for himself. Like, no, what are you doing? That's Gordon Ramsay. You have to accept that.
Yeah, 100%.
Oh, okay, sorry, like.
No way, man. I've done a bit of dishy work in the kitchen, but the kitchen I was working in, like, we were all mates. Like, we were all really
okay, so a cool environment. Yeah.
Exactly.
Was that a restaurant? Was that a burger shack or something?
Was there a pub?
Yeah.
A pub, pub inside, the restaurant inside the pub.
More that chilled out vibe or something like that, yeah?
Not really. One of the chefs there had competed on MasterChef professionals in the UK. He was really good. Really, really good. Cooked the best chicken schnitzel I've ever had in my entire life.
How did he end up in a pub?
Because he's from England, he flew out here doing his working holiday visa. Stumbled into the pub, got a job, got sponsored, stayed there.
Oh, no shit. Got sponsored by the pub?
Yeah,
okay, yeah.
He's still there. The guy who owns the pub was the head chef and one of my really good mates, so he was completely fine. He worked at a few restaurants in and around Australia, which is good.
So you're telling me a pub giving out 5-star restaurant standard food?
Or about 5-star, man.
Maybe like the way it's cooked regardless, you know, I'm sure.
I'm pretty sure the chef from the UK worked in like a Michelin star restaurant. And there was one chef there who worked in a 2-hat restaurant in Sydney, a 2-hat French restaurant, or Italian. I'm sorry if I'm screwing that up, James, I'm so sorry. But it was an Italian or a French restaurant and had 2 hats, 2 chef hats, which is pretty damn good. So for a small pub in rural
then he comes to a pub. Jesus, give us the address of that.
It's called the Imperial Hotel out in Kerr in New South Wales.
Oh,
I'll be there this weekend for meeting. Not really. I promise.
So what's next for Zacros, man? What's next?
I've got a bit on, mate. I've actually got a bit on. So I've obviously got my Instagram now. I've just gotten contracted with my protein.
Awesome, man.
Now contracted with those.
So what's the deal there? Is that like, alright, each pro has to require the protein or the supplements? Or?
It's just it's fairly average sort of stuff. A few posts a month, a few stories a month, and like I think they only want like one reel. But I post every single day.
Okay.
And I'm 99% of the time using their protein.
So you're posting every day. That means you're making the food every day, right?
Yeah.
So
I used to.
Okay.
Whereas now I need to like batch make it on the weekend.
Okay.
So if I don't, exactly. Because I like to use natural lighting.
Yeah.
I don't like artificial lighting.
Yeah.
So if I'm like.
So you're not working on the weekends, so that you're pushed there.
Yeah. So that's like I'll usually try and make like 6-7 recipes within the 2 days.
Awesome. So that must be deadly when it comes to like having that in the fridge, right?
There's a lot of food.
Yeah. Okay. So what was your address? No.
Are you scared you're going to run out of ideas at some point? How do you manage to
Absolutely,
do that?
man. Absolutely.
Okay,
that's why I'm like always on like my explore page and stuff, just looking at random crap.
Do you have people DM you ideas as well, like suggest you things, like just due to their cravings or just
some
like
people
giving you
specifically
tips
request things. Lemon seems to be a massive thing at the moment. People like lemon loaves and lemon muffins and things like that. I'm not a big lemon fan, but I'll make it. I like it, but I won't make things that I don't want to eat.
What do you think will happen when you eventually run out, or get to running out of ideas and whatnot?
I don't know, man. I don't know.
Just like different genre of food or whatever.
I'll probably do the same style of food because I'll never steer clear of desserts. Because it's sort of like where my niche lies.
So
I'll never steer clear of desserts because I like them as well. and they taste good. And most people struggle to fit desserts in when they're in the calorie deficit.
Yeah, 100%. Especially, so you said you focus on low calories,
absolutely.
yeah? How do you break that down? Do you look at the macros online and then you just try and do it like that?
Oh, yeah. So I'll look up like your average sort of, I don't know what to use an example. Say brownies, for example.
Yeah.
Perfect example. They're usually like 300 calories for a brownie because they've got all the sugar, all the butter.
Yeah. That's a small slice, yeah.
Yeah, man. That's like you're looking like 2 inches.
So then your goal or intention is to like make it 5 times bigger for half the calories, or
I want to make it equivalent size.
Yeah.
But just probably as equal taste as best I can. I'm not going to say that if you pump something full of protein, it's going to taste better or it's going to taste the same. Like,
I
was going to say, how does it taste?
Yeah, Vierra and I were actually talking about that.
Literally, yeah.
Yeah,
It looks amazing, but does it taste? Your chocolate cake, does it taste? Even
well, at least I would assume like for most people like myself, it's just more guilt free, right? Like you're not smashing down that brownie thinking fuck I'm fat, you know. You're more thinking okay, don't feel so bad.
A few people will eat a brownie and then just look in the mirror straight away.
Yeah.
And that comes down 99% of the time to a bad relationship with food.
Yeah, 100%. But if you put in the good stuff in there, you could use that as a carb load prior to the gym or post gym, I'm sure. So yeah, no, that's cool, man.
The brownies I do get told quite a lot that they taste really good.
Yeah.
So that comes from using like actual ingredients. Like there's real chocolate in it.
Yeah.
There's no fake chocolate in it. It's actual chocolate. I think that makes the difference. Like when I make something Biscoff flavoured or speculoos flavoured, like I use actual Biscoff or like actual peanut butter and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But if you're trying to make those substitutions,
I'm getting hungry, I think.
if you make too many substitutions, it just turns to shit. Like it turns to utter shit.
Yeah.
You can't do it. Like I've made some like Nutella loaded like pies.
Yeah.
Like they were chocolate fudge pies and they had like a Nutella gooey middle.
Yeah.
Kind of like a lava cake, but it's a pie.
I was going to say the 2021 Donatella. Remember those?
Man,
that was huge craze, man.
That wasn't that was created in Reservoir, yeah?
Or Tomahawk.
Initially, something like that. Yeah.
Donuts or whatever.
Hey,
Without shouting out no one else.
No address here, bro.
Look, just to wrap things up, this is one thing that I'm going to be asking all the guests, and you can perceive it how you want to perceive it. But how do you want to be remembered?
Just as the hungry hippo that I am, man.
Wow.
That's it. I don't need a lasting legacy. I don't need to be famous. I don't need to have any of that sort of stuff. And I just want to help people. So I know, as I said before, like loads of people just get rid of desserts because they can't fit them in their calorie deficit, or they're scared of sugar, or they're scared of gaining weight or anything like that. But I want to help people with their relationship with food, and if implementing small amounts of low calorie desserts in at a time into their diet helps with that, then I'm all for it, man. That's all I want to do. I just want to help.
I love it.
Help people, man. That's genuine right there.
That's all I'm here for.
Right there, man. You want to drop any of the social medias, or you can just look up Zacros.
It's
counting with Zacros.
Counting_Zacros on Instagram and TikTok. I do have a Facebook page, but it's just linked to the Instagram, man. Don't stress too much about that.
No, go like that right now. Follow them right now.
It's the complete opposite.
I do a few other things as well. So I actually make burgers, which obviously isn't macro friendly at all.
Yeah.
But I make burgers out of Backyard Burgers. We're a pop up. Check them out. I'm also a bit of a food journalist, mate, so if you're bored and you feel like reading an article about food, then check out Food
News.
It all.
Food
News AU, at Food News AU, at Backyard Burgers for the Backyard Burgers.
No, awesome, man, awesome.
Zach, man.
Yeah, it was really
appreciate it.
It's been a pleasure. It's been an absolute pleasure.
Thank you very much, mate.
Thanks, boys.